Let's look at how we can retime and manipulate keyframes. So we've taken the H+ Sport logo, and the idea being to abstract an element of it. And what we want to do is have various sweeps, these ones that are yellow, come around, and then want another one to encompass the rest of those sweeps. So what I've done is I've animated the first sweep and the end growth. You can see those keyframes here. I'm happy with that motion. And what I'd like to do is copy it onto the other sweeps and then offset it in time. So we can do this a few ways. So with our playhead back at frame 0, what I want to do is copy this animation onto this object in the same parameter. And to do that, we need a track to store the animation. So you can either create a keyframe by clicking, and that creates a track, or you could right click and choose animation, add track. You can see something has changed. So we would need to make a change on that. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make a keyframe because I know that I want it to start at frame 0. I'm going to press Shift F3 to bring up the timeline. And you can see that we now have our sweep 1 and 2 objects in the timeline. So I can right click on my sweep 1 and choose copy, and that's going to copy all the animation, but I've got this selected so I can copy that. And then I can right click and on sweep 2 choose paste. And that has pasted in the exact same animation. So now to offset and retime this, because I don't want them to happen at the same time, you can't see what's going on. So now I can I've got those keyframes selected, they've turned orange, and now I can just drag this out and it has been offset. So we're getting 1, 2. So if I just pause the playback, then I can move my playhead over to another part where I'd quite like sweep 3's animation to start. So I will create a keyframe just as before for sweep 3's end growth. Shift F3 to bring up the timeline. Exactly where it is now is where I want it. So I can right click and choose paste, and they already had that information stored from sweep 1. If we twirl this down, we've got exactly the same motion happening. And so now we will have sweep 1, sweep 2, sweep 3 all happening. And finally for sweep 4, just going to do the same thing here. Create a track, make sure I'm on my parameter here, and then I can paste in the attributes that I'd copied. So now sweep 4 is going to animate in as well. So this is the final effect. So that's a look at how you can take keyframed animation that's already on an object and copy it to another object that has the same properties, and then you can offset those animations in time to create a more interesting, unique overall animation.